Jungle Scout's just getting better and better. We started off with just product research, then we added keyword research into sourcing, launch functionality, and now we're releasing brand new features every single week for 8 weeks. Welcome to this week's Power Feature webinar series. We started out as an 8-week series, and I can't believe it's already the 8th week. I can't believe I've been doing this with you guys for 2 whole months now. We've released a lot of features the past 7 weeks, and today we have a very exciting product launch in store for you guys. Go ahead and drop in your name and where you're tuning in from in the chat box. It's always really fun for me and everyone else at Jungle Scout to read it, and it makes you guys feel like part of the team. So, do any of these problems sound familiar to you guys? I know I personally have these problems a lot. Like you're losing out on sales because you run out of stock, or maybe you're overstocked and all that cash is tied up in inventory, or you get hit with those dreaded inventory storage fees, especially during fourth quarter. Those can be painful. Or maybe when you go out of stock, you lose keyword rank. And that can be a very frustrating thing when your product's selling really well and then you run out of stock. Or maybe just you've been bad with your inventory management, and as a result, Amazon's been limiting you due to your inventory performance index score. If you share any of these problems, then you guys are in the right place, because in today's webinar, we're gonna be talking about how we can make sure that none of these problems happen again. Just like the past 7 weeks, we'll be giving away 10 Jungle Scout t-shirts, just like the one I'm wearing right now at the end of today's webinar. If you're active in the chat box and you're a Jungle Scout user, someone from our social team will select you and contact you to get you hooked up with the t-shirts. At the end of today's webinar, I'll also be giving you guys a special deal if you're not yet a Jungle Scout customer. By now we've been doing this for 8 weeks with amazing product launches each week. I think you're a little bit crazy if you're not already a Jungle Scout customer, but just in case there's 1 or 2 of you left out there, we'll be giving away we'll be doing a special deal at the end of today's webinar. Man, it's been a wild ride. We released our ASIN search so you could figure out who your competitors were using for their suppliers. We launched our brand new academy to help you guys learn everything from A to Z about selling on Amazon. We released our sales analytics feature, which has been amazing. I know I've really enjoyed using it. I probably check my sales each day an embarrassing amount of times that I would rather not admit. We released the new Keyword Scout that gave support for all of the EU, as well as historical keyword search volume, our opportunity finder for finding amazing opportunities on Amazon, our keyword rank tracker. Last week, we rolled out our alerts. And in today's webinar, we're gonna be rolling out our brand new inventory manager feature. And this is one of the best features we've released yet, and I am very excited to share it with you guys. So as you're following along in today's webinar, I strongly encourage you to go ahead and set up your product lead times as well as your reorder days while I'm doing it inside of Jungle Scout. This is something that can have a huge positive impact on your business. And life gets in the way. It's easy to kind of forget about these things if you don't go ahead and do it right now. And the other huge benefit is by going ahead and doing this while I am on the webinar, I can help anyone who's in the chat box that's having any troubles with it. I'll be looking out for you guys, and I will do everything I can to help you. So make sure that if you haven't already done so, you sync up your Seller Central account with Jungle Scout by entering your MWS keys. After doing so, you'll be able to input your product lead times as well as your reorder days of supply, and make sure everything's set up well. And if it's not, I'll be here to assist you guys. So, with our inventory management feature, we automatically download all of the data we can get from Amazon, but there's 2 pieces of data that we need you guys to input. So the first one's gonna be the product lead time. And this is the total amount of time that it takes from the time you place your purchase order with your factory or supplier all the way till it lands at Amazon, okay? And when you're doing this, you need to make sure to take into account the amount of time for the payment, as well as maybe any customs required, or a backup at your third-party logistics company, or really anything else that would be included from that point where you place the order with your factory all the way to when it lands at Amazon, okay? So that's what's gonna be making up the product lead time. And when in doubt, it's better to be safe than sorry. Maybe you throw in an extra week or two to account for unforeseen issues. We'll also be inputting our reorder days of supplies. And this is essentially just how many days of inventory you want in stock. So after it lands at Amazon, how many days of inventory do you want at Amazon? Do you want to have enough inventory there to last 30 days worth of sales, or 60 days, or 90 days? I know me personally, I usually shoot for 90 days worth of inventory, but you can input that and adjust it accordingly to be set up well for your particular business. So with that being said, let's not waste any time. Let's hop straight into a live demo. So after you've inputted your MWS keys, which means you've synced up your Seller Central account, you should now have access to our brand new inventory manager. You can find it over on the left-hand side underneath the inventory column. And just in case you have not synced up your Seller Central accounts, let me show you real quickly how to do that. I realize there's a few people that do have Seller Central accounts but haven't synced them up yet. In order to do so, you're just gonna go into the settings section and then click on Amazon settings. And right here, you can sync up as many Amazon seller accounts as you would like. So you can have multiple Amazon seller accounts synced up in there. You can include North America as well as an EU one. So go ahead and sync up any Amazon seller accounts you have right in there. And then after doing so, we'll be able to pull all your products right in to Jungle Scout. And in order to see those, you can just click over here on My Products, go into the product settings, and you can see the different products that are available on Amazon and we were able to download into Jungle Scout, okay? If there's any old products that you don't want anymore, it's really easy to turn them off. All of my active products I've turned on, and we can see that with the little green slider over here on the right-hand side. After you've turned those on, and if you've just inputted your keys, it will take a little while for Jungle Scout to download all your sales and product information. Then we have all of it loaded into our inventory manager. It's really cool because at a glance, I can see exactly what I need to reorder, when I need to reorder it, if there's anything that's overstocked and I should be thinking about maybe increasing my PPC bids or doing some other type of promotion to help me get sales. At a quick glance, I can get all that information right away, which helps me make sure that I'm never running out of stock or I never have too much inventory in stock. And it's a little embarrassing for me to admit that inventory manager was just rolled out, so I have to admit that I've been doing my inventory management poorly. And I think a lot of you guys can probably relate to that, to be honest. But now that I have inventory manager set up, these overstocks and these the order nows aren't gonna happen again. Those are gonna be green in the future. That's my New Year's resolution. So what's so cool about this is, well, there's a whole bunch of cool things about it, but let me show a few of my favorite things. I can expand a different product. So this is one of my products, my bamboo marshmallow sticks, jungle sticks, and I can see a whole bunch of cool information right in here. And I'm gonna expand my sales history a little. I'm gonna go to 90 days. And what I can see in here is the gray line here. This is how many units I have in stock or how many units are fulfillable on each individual day. In addition, on the blue line, I can see what my sales were for those respective days. And I can see how my inventory levels are trending down. What's really powerful about this is Jungle Scout takes a lot into account. It's not only your inventory levels, but it gets a little bit more complicated than that. And that's a big reason why a lot of people run out of stock. These are things like your pending orders, or if your items go into DC prep, which a lot of people don't realize this, but even if you don't pay for it, oftentimes your products will go into the DC prep phase because Amazon will be maybe in that specific warehouse, they have to put it in a bag, or that's just what the status they put it in while they're unloading your boxes. So sometimes it's in DC prep. Other times there's fulfillment center transfers. You also need to remember to remove the unsellable inventory. So these are all the different types of things that historically, before having Jungle Scout, you had to be thinking about these different items, taking all these different things into account. And now Jungle Scout does that all automatically for you and just tells you what you need to order and when you need to order it. Let me give you a little bit of rundown of what I'm looking at here. So this particular item sells quite well. In the past 30 days, I've averaged 29 sales per day. The past 2 weeks, it's gone down a little bit, 21 sales per day, but historically about 30 sales per day. And I can, so this is telling me with the amount of days of inventory that I would like to have in stock, it's gonna cost me $17,000 to reorder this item, which probably seems like a lot of money for a lot of people. It's a lot of money for me. But what's cool is this is such a good product that for $17,000 of investment or the reorder costs, this particular product actually makes $67,000 worth of profit. So this is my best performing product in this account. This is a really good one. Most of mine are not this profitable, but this is really awesome to see. Now, so that's what it's telling me, you know, this is how much profit, this is how much it's gonna cost me so I can do my cash flow management. And this is telling me what kind of return I'm gonna get on this particular investment. Now, Jungle Scout is calculating how much inventory you should order. There's a few different options that it lets you set up. So since different products will change over time, you know, some of them are seasonal, other times sales are just better during different periods of time, maybe due to promotion or PPC or whatever else, you're actually able to change the amount of sales history that Jungle Scout is taking into account for your reorder times, okay? So I can adjust this to say, okay, if my product continues to sell how it has the past 15 days, tell me when I would need to reorder. Or tell me if it continues to sell how well it's been selling for the past 2 months, when I should reorder. So that's really cool that you can adjust that and it'll show all the inventory statuses right there. But also, if you just want to look at it at a glance, in this little table on the left-hand side, it shows me all those stats right here. And I currently have the 90-day time frame selected. So let's take a little bit more of a tour around this particular piece of functionality. There are a lot of different columns that you can select. So over here on the right-hand side, select the dropdown. There are all these different types of data points that you can get, and you can choose which ones are important to you and which ones aren't. I selected a few of my favorites and I have them set up here. So of course I'm seeing my products here. The inventory status tells me whether or not the items are overstocked or whether they're in stock and stocked well. That means all is good. It also tells me when I need to order soon, and that means that the reorder date is within 7 days. So that gives you a heads up that, hey, within the next 7 days, you're going to need to be ordering this product. And order now means that I'm actually late on it. I am actually scheduled to go out of stock of this product before my new shipment will get in stock. So red is definitely bad. It shows me the date that I'll need to reorder in order to have the right amount of inventory, how many I'm gonna need to reorder on that particular shipment, what that's gonna cost me, how much profit I'll make after I make that investment, how many days are remaining of inventory. So I have one really slow moving product here, this particular blue baby towel. So for this one, I need to be thinking about ways I can increase sales so that I don't hold on to that inventory too long. Of course, your inventory level, how many are inbound, your average daily sales, and it also shows you your average profit per unit. And those are the columns that I have selected, but there's a lot of other powerful data points that you can also select. So if you guys are following along on this, in this with me right now, I would encourage you to set this up right now so you do not forget. In order to do so, just go under the My Product selection and click on Product Costs. And in the Product Cost section, you'll of course enter all of your COGS and your expenses, and those are the things that we went over during the sales analytics webinar. But in this same section, you're going to be entering 2 more data points, and we'll scroll down to my favorite product, or my best performing product. What you're going to do is you're going to select the edit button. Looks like you can't see that one, so let me choose one of these other ones. You're going to choose the edit button, just a little pencil over here, and you're going to want to input your product lead time and your reorder days of supplies, okay? So what this is the product lead time. I spoke about this on the demo page earlier, but this is how many days it takes from the time you place that purchase order all the way until that product arrives at Amazon, okay? So everything from the manufacturing to the shipping to customs to The domestic transport, once it arrives, you need to input all those different you need to add all that up, and that is your product lead time. For the reorder days of supplies, this is essentially once it arrives at Amazon, how many days of stock how many days of inventory do you want in stock? And of course, you can change the number of historical sales days that it takes into account when determining that. With the drop down that I was showing you earlier, we can choose 15 or 30 or 60 days or whatever figure you want. So for me, I usually plan on having 90 days of inventory in stock. And that's for me. You guys can choose the number of reorder days that you would like. I know that 90 days is quite common for people. That's like 3 months of supply once it arrives at Amazon. I know for me, most of my products, the lead times are usually around 60, 70, 80 days. So really, for something that takes 80 days for product lead times, 90 days of inventory isn't very much. What's more common for me is something like this, 60 days of product lead time. That means I essentially have 1 month of inventory in stock before I need to place my next order, and it kind of continues down that same cycle. So adjust that accordingly. All you have to do is click save, and then those will be updated and all of your inventory will be set up and good to go. So this is just another way that we're really making Jungle Scout into much more than just a product research tool, but it's really now a tool to manage your entire business. So not only are you using it to find products and opportunities, but then you're using it to find suppliers, discover keywords, track your keywords, build your listings with the keywords. You're using it to send follow-up emails to get more reviews or run promotions. We have all the sales analytics information built in so you can see the true performance of your business on a day-to-day or week-to-week or month-to-month time frame, which is really powerful. And now we have also released the inventory manager, as I've just showed you, which really helps to make sure that you're never running out of stock. So it's a really powerful thing. I'm very excited to have it. And I encourage you guys to make sure that it is set up because like I said, otherwise life gets in the way and it's easy to forget if you don't do it now. So let me ask you guys here. This is always a fun thing for me is what is this tool worth to you guys? Because I'm looking at a lot of our competitors' tools and I see that they are charging a lot of money just for this one piece of functionality. So let me know, what's it worth to you? Because I know for one, a lot of our competitors charge a tremendous amount of money just for this piece of functionality, nothing else. I also know that running out of stock is extremely, extremely expensive. This is a little bit embarrassing to admit, but I was looking at inventory management or inventory manager, and the last time I ran out of that good product, my Jungle Sticks, I literally lost over $6,000 on one stock out. And it hurts me to admit this, but it really is true. And it goes to show just like how powerful and how valuable good inventory management is. So just having something like a alert or a piece of software tool telling me when I need to reorder instead of me forgetting about it, because I'm always working on all types of things, could literally, this just avoiding one stock out this product can make me $6,000 extra per year, which is crazy. It's crazy to think. And I love to see what everyone else is saying as far as value to them, because I see that there's a lot of other people here who realize how valuable it is as well. But like everything else we're doing with this webinar series, we're including it free in your Jungle Scout subscription. We're not charging an extra $50 or $100 or $200 like a lot of the competitors are. Jungle Scout is an all-in-one tool for you to not only start, but also to manage and optimize and grow your Amazon business. An important part of that is good inventory management. So we're going to be including this for free with your Jungle Scout subscription. So it's really fun for me to go through this list now because when we started this webinar series just 8 weeks ago, the functionality of Jungle Scout was much thinner than what it is now. So now we, of course, have released the inventory manager into Jungle Scout. You also have all the alerting functionality, so you can get notified when you have hijackers or there's something wrong with your listing. Find new opportunities with our opportunity finder. I'm loving all the feedback that I'm getting with it. our product database to help you find good ideas and new ASINs, the product tracker to keep track of all these ideas, supplier database so you can find the top ranked suppliers for products or see who your competitors are using for their factories. The supplier tracker to keep track of all that, keyword scout to do your keyword research and build listings with our listing builder, keep track of all of your keyword ranks using our rank tracker, run promotions, send email campaigns to get more emails, do all your sales analytics right inside of Jungle Scout. And of course, we have our extension as well as our academy to make sure you guys understand A to Z, all the latest tips, tricks for selling on Amazon. So I really love that Jungle Scout is certainly now the ultimate all-in-one tool for Amazon sellers. It can literally do everything you need inside of your Amazon business. And not only can it do it, but these really are world-class pieces of functionality inside of the tool for each individual one. Like our keyword research tool alone is better than the best keyword research tool out there. Or our sales analytics, we're hearing the exact same feedback. So it's so cool that through all the hard work of our product team over the past years, but especially this past year, they've really been able to build the ultimate all-in-one tool. So if you're crazy enough that you still do not have Jungle Scout, we've put together our webinar special. Tomorrow is the last day we're running this. We ran this special specifically for this 8-week webinar series. As you know, this is week 8. It is over. So tomorrow you literally have 24 hours left to take advantage of this. After that, we're going to be shutting it down. Most people take advantage of the one on the right-hand side for Jungle Scout as well as the extension for a year. You get it at 50% off for only $399. And that is a fantastic deal that we're not going to run for much longer. We're going to be closing it down after this webinar series is over. I stole this quote from someone in the chat box a few weeks ago. They said, wow, you literally have 10 times more functionality than the competitors, and I'm paying 75% less. So I should have given you credit for that quote, but I love it. It's true. Of course, with everything we do, satisfaction guaranteed, junglescout.com/power if you want to take advantage of it. Email us anytime. Our industry-leading support team would love to help you 24/7. And if you're an existing Jungle Scout customer and you want to take advantage of this, you realize that there's only 24 hours left, that this deal is going to end from this webinar series, you can email our customer support@junglescout.com, and we'll get you set up if you were an existing customer. If you're a new customer and you do not yet have Jungle Scout, you can find it at junglescout.com/power. Only existing customers need to email us at support@junglescout.com and we can get you hooked up. So go ahead and drop your questions in the chat box. We still have 30 minutes left. I'd love to help as many people as I can and answer as many questions as I can. So let me know what you have. Sargis says, when you say it's included free in your subscription, do you mean yearly or monthly as well? We are including the inventory manager in all of our subscriptions, both yearly as well as monthly. So you can take advantage of it no matter which one you signed up for. Katarina said, we would love to have more webinar series. When's the next one? We'll be starting another one soon. I really enjoy doing these webinars. It's always great to get to share any information or knowledge that we're learning in the industry with all of you guys as Amazon sellers. So we will be doing more of them. Don't you worry. Make sure to follow us both on YouTube as well as just our email list, and we'll let you know when we're set up for our next one. We have a lot of different awesome webinar ideas floating around. We just have to choose which one we want to do. Let's see. Any questions that are specific for certain plans that you're on, just shoot us the email at support@junglescout.com. They're the team that will take care of getting you transitioned over to the webinar deal that we're running. So yeah, I know different people are on different plans, maybe older plans that we don't have anymore or anything else. So just shoot us an email. We'll be more than happy to help you out. Let's see. Tom said, oops, where'd that go? My lead time column is showing a dollar value and not days. It's hard for me to tell what's going on there without being able to see your screen, Tom. If you just do a quick screenshot and shoot it over to customer support, they'd be more than happy to help you out. To be completely honest with you, considering we just rolled it out today, it's still possible there's a bug or two for some of these edge cases that we couldn't discover. So if you just shoot us a quick email, we'll be more than happy to get it fixed for you, and sorry about that. Gene said, how do I sync my Amazon seller inventory with Jungle Scout? To do so, you are going to go into the, hover over your account in the top right, go down and click on settings. After you click on settings, you'll see this page. Just click on Amazon settings. Let me show you one more time. It's this one right here, Amazon settings. You're then gonna go to add new. And this will walk you through step-by-step how you sync up your Amazon account with Jungle Scout, okay? So there's a way to sync it up with Jungle Scout. It's called through something called an API. So Jungle Scout automatically talks to Seller Central without you having to do so, and it will automatically be downloading all this information multiple times a day so that you don't have to do any of the work. So it's really nice. Thoughts on the new, this one says, thoughts on the new sponsored display ads that now show up. What are your thoughts and plans? They're kind of always testing new types of sponsored display ads. So if you want to be a little more specific, I could maybe comment on what I think about your specific case. Overall thoughts is just like any marketplace or any platform, it's typical for more of the sales to come through sponsored products over time. Amazon's following the same path as what a lot of the other giants out there have done, similar to this. So I think they are, that this is kind of part of being an Amazon seller, is being familiar with the sponsored display ads and how they kind of work with your Amazon business. And let's see. Leonardo said, what is the best time to start if you're new and just learning? I get this question often, and I think, what's the saying? The best time to plant a tree was 10 years ago. The second best time is now. I think the exact same thing is true with selling on Amazon. For whatever, a lot of people tend to ask me, like, should I wait until after the holidays? It's like, no, there's no reason to wait until after the holidays to get started selling on Amazon. Now is just as good of a time as ever. So I'd say stop trying to push it off and go ahead and just get started. Chris said, how does Jungle Scout compare to HelloProfit? HelloProfit, last time I looked at it, at least, it was really just kind of like the sales analytics type platform. I didn't really see much functionality in there besides that. So Jungle Scout, not only has the sales analytics platform that we're looking at right here, we actually just rolled this out a month ago, but there's also a ton of other functionality. So, a lot of people know of Jungle Scout from our product research functionality. We were the first ones in the industry to estimate Amazon sales and build this really robust product research functionality. But really within the past half year, we've turned into way more than that, to helping you find suppliers and do your keyword research, launch your products, give you the sales analytics similar to what HelloProfit would, as well as now inventory management, our academy, and a whole lot more. So whereas most tools, or like all tools in the industry, are very kind of like point solutions, Jungle Scout is really this all-in-one tool that not only can do everything from helping you start to grow and optimize your business, but we're also do all of it very, very well, which is why there's so many happy customers. Dan said, this is awesome. This is what I've been needing. Thank you guys so much. Dan, thank you very much for tuning in. Thanks for the nice words. Liliana said, I have a bunch of questions. Are you planning another Ask Jungle Scout chapter? Yes, we frequently do Ask Jungle Scout webinars, but go ahead and ask them right now. You don't have to wait until the next Ask Jungle Scout. I'll be happy to answer your questions right now for you. This one said, are you going to keep adding training to the Jungle Scout Academy, which is amazing, by the way, exclamation, exclamation, exclamation. Yes, we're gonna continue to be adding to the Academy. I was actually filming some brand new Academy modules just yesterday. And I know we've actually already filmed a few more modules that we're in the process of editing to upload right now. So yes, we're gonna constantly be creating new Academy content as well as updating the Academy content that is up there. Danielle said, could you repeat the offer? I'll tell you what, I will just pull up the page to show it to you. It's junglescout.com/power. This is the offer. You get all of Jungle Scout as well as our extension. If you buy those individually and pay monthly, it's costs $828 a year, which is still a really fantastic deal. But just because we wanted to put together something really special for this 8-week webinar series, we're offering it at $399, which is actually more than 50% off. So you get all of Jungle Scout, so everything we see in here, all of it is included, as well as our Jungle Scout extension, which I haven't even been using this particular webinar, but I'll just show it to you real quick. The Jungle Scout extension installs into Chrome. It looks something similar to this. It loads on Amazon pages to give you all these Amazon insights with one click of a button. So it's another really powerful tool, and that is included in the webinar series special. All right. Let's see. There's a few in here that's making me laugh. Don had something really nice to say. Your Pro extension is awesome, so I expect this to be out of the park. Thank you very much for the kind words. Jay Glancy with an inventory question. Still selling through my first order. Building momentum, but I don't want to order too soon to run out of stock. Suggestions? Not enough history for the tool to work yet. As long as there is some sales history, it sounds like you are making some sales, then Inventory Manager can go ahead and give you suggestions now. So, if you're not making any sales yet, then that's the first thing to work on. If you are making sales, then Inventory Manager can give you suggestions on when to order. So my suggestion for you, Jake Glancy, is just sync your account up with Inventory Manager and it will tell you when to reorder. It is much smarter than I am with all the algorithms that are built behind the scenes. Chris says, does it download sessions? No, unfortunately, Amazon doesn't release that through their API. You can only get that inside of Seller Central. Let's see, this one says, Vicky asked, does the extension work on Canada, Amazon? Yes, it does. The extension works in all of North America, so Canada, US, as well as Mexico, all of the EU, and India. So it is very robust and works for all of those areas. Lucia asked what an opportunity score of 4 means. I think you saw that on my screen right here, the opportunity score of 4. The Jungle Scout extension rates opportunities 1 through 10, 10 being the best, 1 being the worst. So this particular niche, marshmallow sticks, it is too competitive. So it has good demand, but it also has very high competition. So the opportunity score is a 4 out of 10. So this, I would say, is not a good opportunity for you to go into right now. I think you could find something much better. Let's see. Aram, waiting for the PPC videos inside Jungle Scout Academy. You are in luck because we are very close to releasing those. We've already been recording them and I think you're gonna like them. David asks what we mean by launch features. And what's inside of our launch features are, they're both categorized under launch, but they're actually both quite different. So one of the features inside of here is our promotions. So how promotions work is you're able to offer deep discounts or coupons to shoppers that are bargain hunters, and they will then go take that coupon and they'll purchase your product on Amazon. And if you want to see where all these products are, you can go to jumpsend.com. These are all products that have been listed through Jungle Scout. This is the website that these different bargain hunters go to look for different coupons. So if you're an Amazon seller, you can give out as many coupons as you want here every day. And this is a way to help you get additional sales. So when you first launch a product on Amazon, it's usually kind of hard to get initial sales. That's the main reason people are using JumpSend, because it's just a way to help you get additional sales. You're giving out coupons. These people are using these coupons to purchase the goods on Amazon, which helps you get additional sales. The more sales you make, the better you rank. And that's one of the methods that I use to help launch new products. Or, for example, one of those products we're at 1,000 days worth of inventory, the promotions functionality inside of Jungle Scout is also a way to help you get additional sales there to get some of that inventory moving a little bit faster. Let's see. Great question, David. How do you combine Jungle Scout launch with other sales channels? For example, Facebook, Amazon PPC, etc. When I'm launching a brand new product, I combine launch. So I give coupons to these bargain hunters to purchase my goods on Amazon. I combine that with Amazon PPC. And what I've found is combining both of those gets me the sales that I need to start getting ranked well on Amazon. And you say, can you do a webinar on that? We actually have a module right inside of the Jungle Scout Academy called Launching Your Product. And inside of here, we talk about the different ways that you can launch products. So of course, we're talking about the launch functionality inside of Jungle Scout, but also other strategies to do so. And I think that's right inside of here. So if you want to learn more about that, then just hop into the Jungle Scout Academy, and we have a bunch of good videos to show you how to do that. Jeannie said, Jungle Scout appears to cost $49 a month. Is there a more cost-effective way to do my product research until I can start earning a profit? You can do your product research without using a tool, but what we've found in working with a lot of different sellers is, for one, it's much easier to get discouraged and not to ever start the business because so much of entrepreneurship is kind of like the mindset, building momentum, creating wins so you kind of like get to that next stage. And when you're doing product research without using any software, it is very labor intensive, very time intensive. And what happens is people typically just get discouraged and they end up not starting to sell on Amazon. So that is an option. Alternatively, what most people, I think, in a similar spot to you, Jeannie, have found is it's like, man, it makes it so much faster, so much easier, and you make way better decisions that most people are like, wow, it would have actually cost me more money, kind of like in lost profits or in a failed product than what it would have just have bought Jungle Scout. So that's kind of how I feel about it, but feel free to kind of like take the road that's best for you. Dreams follow. I love you too. Let's see. Hi, I want to purchase a specific plan, but I need to speak to your team about it. I'm worried that the offer ends tomorrow. Isa, don't worry. Anyone who sends in a ticket before the offer ends tomorrow will make sure to honor it, even if it took us more than that to get back to them. But our support team is very fast. So you can probably expect a response within the next few hours or so. Let's see. This one says, since Keyword Scout's not set up for Canada yet, how would you go? What do you think the difference is between US searches and Canada searches? Yes, right now, HM Coordinator, I probably would use the US results to build Canada listings. The good news is I know our data science team was just working on Canada and Mexico, which are the last two regions for our keyword search estimates. So it shouldn't be too much longer, but in the meantime, I think you could build your listing using the US search terms, and then down the road, you could optimize it once the Canada search volumes are rolled out. Dale said, when will sales analytics have a P&L statement? Good news. This is, again, something that the team is working on, so it shouldn't be too much longer. I don't know exactly when it's going to roll out, but I agree. I've been excited for the P&L statement to roll out as well, so stay tuned. Let's see. David said, should I offer a coupon on JumpSend in conjunction with a coupon on Amazon, or only the coupon on JumpSend? I would probably start with only the coupon on JumpSend. They are a little bit different though. Like the coupons on Amazon are typically a lower percentage off or amount off, okay? And that's kind of what customers on there expect. Customers on JumpSend, these are just like pure bargain hunters. They're just looking for these really good deals. They probably don't need your product at all, but for the right discount, they're willing to purchase it. So I typically use JumpSend when I'm trying to launch a brand new product, or if I'm trying to essentially liquidate inventory. Whereas the coupon on Amazon, I typically run those more during like the, just kind of like a normal process of selling my products. So that's how I look at them differently. Nice comment from Sloboda. Our Amazon FBA students love Jungle Scout. Thank you very much for tuning in, and I'm happy to hear that. Beer, there's not this functionality built into the inventory manager right now to keep track of additional inventory that is at your personal warehouse. But I know now that this has launched, kind of the plan was to fix any bugs that they have associated with it, and then it was kind of work on some of this additional functionality. So I don't know for sure about this particular one, but I know that the whole product team that built this tool is watching the webinar. So I think you just put in one vote for this as another product improvement soon. Let's see. What is your opinion on the new trend with using ManyChat? To be completely honest, ManyChat's pretty cool for a number of things, but I think trend or fad is a good descriptor for ManyChat and for the purpose of launching Amazon products. I kind of think it's more trouble than it's worth, and there's better ways to go about launching products. Again, that's just my personal opinion though. I know other people think differently. Let's see. Good question, Gene. What happens when I have no more inventory? I'm not replenishing this particular item. What I would recommend doing is, one, if you wanted it to still factor into your sales analytics, you can keep it on. But if you don't want it in this particular list, and you don't want it in your sales analytics, and you don't want it to clog up any other dropdowns, what you can do is you can just hop into My Products, go to to product settings, and just turn off any products that you don't want to be included in your inventory manager, your sales analytics, or anywhere else in your Jungle Scout account. So that way you can kind of clean it up. Any of those products that you're maybe not replenishing or you don't want anymore, you don't have to have those in there. We got another vote for the personal warehouse. Noted from the product team. I know you guys listening, guys and gals. Will Jungle Scout Academy have info on ManyChat? Maybe. If you guys really want it, we'd be happy to create a video on it. Like I said, it's, I think, a little bit of a fad that's not the best thing for this particular purpose, even though chatbots in general are pretty cool. Yeah, let me know if you do, and we'll think about doing a video for it. Let's see. Oh, Milton was talking about the sponsored display beta. I know we have the experience that we've had with it is And I think you're referring to like the targeting type of putting it on, or you can target certain ASINs or categories. I know that's the one that at least I have access to. I was trying to pull it up to see, to make sure I had the name correctly. But I think our experience it so far would be that displaying it on listings where the price was higher or the overall reviews was lower was pretty effective. But like the automatic targeting, I think we're showing up on a lot of listings that maybe converted better than what ours did. And for those, it tends to be like a little bit more of a waste of money. Thanks for the updates, upgrades, and walkthroughs. Jungle Scout, tons of awesome features I'm super grateful for. Any reason why I'm on level 4, selling less than 400 units per month? No, I'm not sure, Dan. If you wouldn't mind just shooting us a quick email, we'll look into that for you, figure out what's going on there. Maybe it's just a display thing, but we'd be more than happy to get that solved for you. Sorry about that. Raven, yes. When I say spend 50 on automatic and 50 on manual, I am referring to $100 a day on ads. Don't feel like you have to spend that much. It's the budget you set on your ads is totally up to you. So feel free to choose accordingly. Obviously, the more money you're willing to spend, the more potential sales and the faster you'll collect data. But at the same time, I realize that $100 a day can add up pretty quickly. What technology is Jungle Scout built with? I'm not a developer. Our developers would love to chat with you about this. If I'm not mistaken, from my non-technical background, most of the front end is built on React. The back end is split up into a bunch of different microservices, for everything from Ruby on Rails to Python to, I don't know, a few other languages. Maybe one of the developers can type in the chat box what other technologies it's built with. Amanda said, what about the alert center on the website? How often is that updated? I forget off the top of my head how often the alert center is updated. I think it differs for your products compared to tracking kind of like your competitors' products. But I do know if you're looking for, if the goal of this question is looking for quicker alerts, that that text message alerts are towards the top of the product roadmap right now, so it probably won't be too far away before you can get those. And that way you'd be able to see instantly when there's, for example, like a hijacker on your listing, or if your listing's been suppressed or something like that. Milton said you need to bring your developers on so we can give input and ideas. Maybe they'll run in here after reading that and answer some of your questions. Are sellers now required to be brand registered to sell on Amazon? No. In order to take advantage of some of the functionality specifically for brand owners, you do have to be brand registered, but you definitely do not have to be brand registered just to sell on Amazon. In the future, it's possible that maybe you'll have to have brand registry to, for example, like create a new listing or something like that. But as of right now, that's definitely not the case. I think there were some rumors or myths floating around about this, but I haven't seen any real evidence to lead me to believe that. Right now, I think it's still just a rumor. Greg, don't shave your beard no matter how many likes you got. Thanks for the advice, Rokoro. Jay Glancy said, I'm ranked 78 for my highest search term, 6 for the 4th highest search term, highest in my title. Would it be better to use the 4th highest term in the title to target number 1 on it? I think this isn't a bad idea. Jay Glancy, I think this is worth trying, monitoring it for, say, a week or 2 and see how that affects your rank. I wouldn't switch back too quickly. I'd at least give it like a week or 2 because some of those ranking changes do take a little while. So yeah, that's what I'd recommend. I think that would work out well. I want to learn FBA and Jungle Scout features from scratch. Where to begin? If you're just trying to dip your toes in the water, a spot you could begin is on the Jungle Scout YouTube channel. We have a lot of great free content directly on there. If you're ready to take it to the next step, what I would recommend for you is getting a Jungle Scout account and logging into the Academy. The huge benefit about the Academy is it's all very, high quality content, but it's also laid out in such a way that's really easy to search and sort through. So we've broken it up into a whole bunch of little bite-sized pieces, so it's easy to keep track of where you're at, to see all the different lessons. We walk you through step by step of not only all the ways that you can be using Jungle Scout, but also really just to be how to be selling on Amazon, kind of from A to Z. It's our mission here at Jungle Scout to help you guys, the Amazon sellers, be more successful, whether or not that's launching your first product on Amazon or that 1,000th product and you're growing and scaling your business. What we really care about is doing everything that we can to help you guys become more successful Amazon sellers. So that is why we built the Academy, and that's why we're going to continue to do a whole bunch of work around it. Now the chat's just filled up with me shaving my head or beard or whatever else. I see a change in opportunity score after 2 weeks. Should I cancel this niche and search for another product? What I would recommend doing, Amand, is I would track it inside of the Jungle Scout product tracker and keep an eye on it. It's like before I order a product, I typically track it for a few weeks or a month. That way I can see any variations or changes, and I find multiple ideas that I like and don't get too attached to any of them. And then after a few weeks of kind of monitoring it, that's when you can decide which one's ultimately the best for you. Also in the future of voice advertising, and will Jungle Scout look into that? I don't know. I kind of have a little bit of a hard time believing that's going to catch on. We'll see though. It's really hard to predict the future. I know that I think just, like Siri and Alexa and voice AI in general has been a little bit slower to catch on than maybe what a lot of the people would have thought. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. We'll follow it closely. Val said, how can you ensure that the data collected by syncing Jungle Scout with Seller Central won't be shared with other sellers or third-party companies? Great question, Val, and I definitely understand why the privacy and security of your data is important to you. As a seller, it's also super important to me. And I can say this is something at Jungle Scout that we take extremely seriously. Feel free to read through our terms of service if you prefer more of the legal side of this. But I know that security and privacy is just built into the culture that we have at Jungle Scout. So this is everything from third-party security audits that we get done, to the training whenever we hire new people, to background checks for employees. We've even been audited by Amazon. So they actually came to our office, spent a few days with us, and they gave us a glowing review about our overall security practices. So they care a lot more about just like the technology security, like the encryption of the databases and who has access to what it takes to get access to it. They care a lot about that, but also just like the business practices as a whole. So it's something that we take extremely seriously. It would be my absolute worst nightmare for any of this data to get out into the wild or something else. So that's why it's something that we care so deeply about and something that we take extremely seriously. So I can assure you that it will not be shared with any other sellers or third-party companies. Jeannie said it would be great to see a video on a story of a top Amazon seller making 7+ figures using Jungle Scout, how they started, what challenges they had, and where they are at now. If you go to our YouTube channel, we actually have a really cool series called Jungle Scout Seller Stories, where I've interviewed a number of sellers just like the ones you're describing, Jeannie. It is very inspirational. It's really fun to talk to these different individuals to hear how creating this company has really changed their lives and the impact it's had on them. So go check it out, Jungle Scout Seller Stories. I think we're gonna be putting some of those in the Academy soon as well, so you'll be able to find them there. And yeah, I'm just like you, I love hearing about those. We have time for about one more question. Put it in the chat box now. Great, last question. Can you effectively find great product ideas with just the web app, or do you need the Chrome extension as well? I have a list of products already and think I got the wrong Jungle Scout service. If you have a list of product ideas and you would like to view them on Amazon and see all the data around it, then the extension is probably going to be the best tool for doing that. Most of our customers, like 90% plus, choose to use both Jungle Scout as well as the Jungle Scout extension because they serve a little bit of different purposes. Jungle Scout's the main tool. It's where most of the power is involved, but a lot of people really enjoy the extension just because of the usability and just because when you're browsing around Amazon, it's really nice to have the extension, be able to click that little button, see all the data points that you're interested in seeing. So hopefully that answers your question, Nicholas. That wraps up not only today's Jungle Scout, I want to say just that not only wraps up the 8th week of our Power Feature webinar series, but it also wraps up today. Thank you guys very much for tuning in. I've got to see a lot of familiar names inside of the chat box. I think a lot of you guys have tuned in all 8 weeks, which makes me really happy. I am happy to hear that a lot of you are now using Jungle Scout and finding a tremendous amount of value from it. Thank you very much for putting all of those nice comments in the chat box. And while this wraps up the 8-week Power Feature webinar series, we are still going to be releasing a lot of functionality in the near future. You can also expect to find a lot more live webinars from us soon. So keep in touch, and I look forward to seeing you guys soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.